Okay, we're here with Stephen Krasner in the town of Newburgh. Can you tell us what is happening today at the reorganization meeting?
Yeah, you basically had a situation where a whole neighborhood of residents approached a few of us that have been active, both politically and in the neighborhood, and they came out and they approached us, I want to say in early December, and they had just found out that this strip club was going in right in front of their neighborhood area. And I think because they had witnessed the campaigns and the political atmosphere, they approached me. So when they approached me, I simply helped them organize. I said, to basically confront this kind of situation, these are the steps that you might want to take. They had already contacted the town supervisor. They had already contacted this governing body, and they didn't get very far. And that kind of led them to me. And then they formed their own group, and they really kind of took it from there. And as you can witness inside that room, pretty much you have a lot of professionals, regardless of political affiliation. You have a mix of just about every type, and they're upset. And I think they have every right to be upset. You're talking about a facility that will be the largest strip club complex in the Hudson Valley region, 6,000 square feet. Now, there is an existing facility there that is about 1,800, I believe, square feet. That existing facility is going to be turned into some sort of Giggles retail establishment, and they're building an actual new complex. I think the neighbors' concern was not so much that the existing facility was there, they learned to live with it, but the fact that they're building this grandiose, brand new complex is what really upset them, and really kind of brought the public safety concern into their heads. A lot of them have kids, a lot of them have families. You're talking about a strip of 9W, where there's Ballonville Elementary School less than a mile away on one side, and then you're within walking distance of a very large daycare center, 0.20 miles away, 1,000 feet away. So I think there's a genuine concern there. They don't want to see any kind of the criminal intent or activity that is usually attracted to these places. So they organized, and that's what you're seeing going on now.
Currently, they would be the zoning allows for something like that to expand.
From my understanding, and we actually foiled a lot of the information and looked at it. From my understanding, the zoning component of this, there's really nothing in existence right now that says this is, this part of town, for example, is for adult use zoning. And I think, the real dilemma that they're having is, and the frustration of the neighbors was in 2005, the town did what's called a comprehensive master plan. And there could have been a juncture at that moment where they could have basically put into play a specified zoning area for adult use. No one's denying, anyone's free enterprise to do business. What I think their concern is the common sense of where the zoning board was thinking, where the town board was thinking when this thing went through in 2005, and it's translated now into what will become the largest adult entertainment complex in the Hudson Valley.
And you were a candidate for town supervisor
Yes.
in this town last
There was.
November. Was this one of the issues in your campaign?
No, this issue, trust me, if I knew about this in the campaign, you would have seen more of this in the press, because I wouldn't have stood for it. I certainly would have fought it. There are steps that this town board can take to fight this. This group has been consulting some legal minds, and those legal minds have discovered various steps of what they can do to remedy the situation. But I find it, personally, from a political standpoint, I thought it was extraordinarily curious that the bulldozers in this facility, in this area of land, did not start rolling until a month after the election was over. And that observation was made by several people. Obviously, being that I was heavily involved in it, certainly it did cross my mind.
I noticed on tonight's agenda, the reorganization meeting, there are 3 vacancies on the planning board. How does that play into this issue?
It really doesn't. That's for the elected officials in there to fill those slots. I know it's been a concern. I've been in a lot of these meetings, and I think there are genuine concerns right now that there's no police chief. I believe the assessor, the property assessor, from my understanding, just retired, so they really haven't had a lot of time to replace that. But I think the vacancy issue is almost a very different issue from this, but it has been a concern for a long time. Kind of a separate issue, but certainly when they have several vacancies in the police department, and now they're talking about adding a strip club, which is going to, tap into more resources from our police department. I think there's a genuine concern: is are we stretched too thin? And that's where there actually is a connection.
So this group inside the room would like to change the zoning?
That hasn't been discussed yet. I think the residents would like to discuss that with them. And when I talked to this group, and I had several meetings with them, they did express, a real kind of proactive approach that if this town board will work with us, we would like to maybe do some civic engagement, figure out a way out of this, work with these guys that are sitting at that table and say, how can we all work together so we're not wasting the taxpayers' time and money, and we can remove this problem, and it doesn't affect our quality of life.
Has our members of the community spoken with the developers?
Again, this is so new. This is only less than 3 weeks old. I think that they were, when they first found out about this, in a bit of a state of shock.
And there's an organization already, or it's just a group of people?
They've actually come together and organized quickly.
Do they have a name?
It's called Families for Better Middlehope, is what they're calling themselves, and they have a Facebook page already. And they have a whole network that they've created, and they've been able to pass along information rather quickly. But they're very energized. I came to the first couple meetings with these folks, and they were very passionate.
Okay, thanks a lot.
So hopefully that answers.